almost a year ago, Trump promised this.
When I'm president, we will deport the foreign jihad sympathizers, and we will deport them very quickly, and Hamas supporters will be gone.
After the October 7th terrorist attacks, the entire Western world erupted into protests and riots in support of Hamas.
Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you!
Look in the bus they're joining in as well again, man. In the bus they're joining in, lad. Man's on the bus. We're taking over UK now.
Many people started wondering, how can this be? How can people in America who enjoy the freedoms granted by America support terrorist activities in other democratic nations like Israel? Well, people like me have been saying for many, many years, long before the October 7 terrorist attacks, that these people are not loyal to America, Britain, or whichever country they live in.
I live with these people, but I have hate for them. I don't like them. Muslims are being put in situations where they're asked, are you a Muslim first or are you a British first?
Yeah, but these are easy questions to answer. I'm a Muslim first. Like, what's the issue?
They see America as a cancer, a nation that must be brought down.
America is the cancer. America, the American government, secularism, democracy, capitalism, these are cancers.
They think that burning the American flag is not enough. We should burn down the whole of America.
Burning the American flag, it's just, wallahi, it's a beautiful sight, but it's not enough. We need to burn down every capitalist and imperialist system that exists. We need to burn the US government, aka global terrorist organization, down to the fucking ground. We can no longer allow the worst, most violent, evil, disgusting people to lead us, because they're going to continue making the world a waking nightmare.
Their loyalty lies with their ideology, Islam, and Islamism, the political wing of Islam.
One day we can have a Muslim majority nation here in Canada, right? Face. We owe our allegiance and our loyalty first and foremost to our religion, not to the Queen.
They prefer Sharia over the law of the land that they live in.
Is the law of this country more important, or is the law of your religion more important? Just a yes or no answer will do.
The law of the country is important until where it requires you to go against
your religion.
God's law.
But that's not all. This time they also have the support of the far left, people who also hate the West and want to dismantle the democratic West. I mean, it makes sense for Islamists to despise the West because they want Islam to dominate, but what about the far left? They are nothing more than useful idiots for the Islamists, and when the Islamists succeed in bringing down the West, which I don't think they will, the far left will be the first ones on the chopping block because, according to the Islamists, they're the most degenerate ones. Just how stupid these people are can be judged by this video where a bisexual Spanish woman is saying that she would be better off under Sharia than a right-wing Spanish government.
It's almost similar to the caliphate. Better. Depends. No.
What is scarier than your preference?
I think they are less.
Less scary.
Yes, I think so.
In other words, you see your LGBTI rights endangered more with a Spain governed by Vox.
Yes. Yes, truly, yes.
It's literally chickens for KFC. I don't have time for these idiots. In fact, I've said it before, the only good thing to come out of an Islamic takeover of the West would be the look on these clowns' faces when they're about to receive Sharia treatment on a rooftop. Anyway, by now, I'm sure you all would have heard of Mohammed Khalil, a US green card holder who, like hundreds of others, thought he was untouchable because he had a green card. But Trump isn't one to get bogged down by procedural limitations. He promised he'd root out jihadis and their sympathizers, and that's exactly what he's trying to do.
Hate America, if you want to abolish Israel, if you sympathize with jihadists, then we don't want you in our country, and you're not going to be getting into our country.
He also vowed to deport visa holders who support foreign terrorist organizations like Hamas, the Houthis, Hezbollah, etc.
I will cancel the student visas, Hamas sympathizers on college campuses. The college campuses are being taken over and all of the resident aliens who joined in the pro-jihadist protest this month. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. Come 2025, we will find you and we will deport you.
While Khalil's deportation has been temporarily put on hold by U.S. District Judge Jesse Furman, other jihadi sympathizers who are on temporary visas were not so lucky. Meet Dr. Rasha Alawi, a kidney transplant specialist, has been successfully deported back to her home country, Lebanon. According to Homeland Security, Rasha Alawi traveled to Beirut, Lebanon, to attend the funeral of Hassan Nasrallah, a brutal terrorist directly responsible for killing hundreds of Americans over a 4-decade terror spree. Don't get me wrong, a judge also tried to block her deportation, but since she was on an H-1B visa, cancelling her visa was simpler than cancelling Khalil's green card. Now, let's get to the main event and discuss why Khalil is being deported and why I've been saying that those who don't believe in free speech should not be given free speech. If your very state's existence is in question, then it's suicidal to give free speech to your enemies who will use it to bring down your own country. America is the pioneer of free speech because it enshrined it in its constitution. But even the pioneers of free speech didn't extend it to the enemies during the American Revolution. Yes, Britain's loyalists were not given free speech like the rest of Americans. Why? Because you can't let your enemies spread their propaganda to dismantle your country from within. During the Second World War, the US did everything it could to block out Nazi propaganda. This is why Russian loyalists in Ukraine are arrested, which, by the way, MAGA thinks that they shouldn't be. You've got to be consistent, guys. If you think we shouldn't allow anti-American talking points to be repeated in America or the free world, then you shouldn't blame Zelensky for arresting people spreading anti-Ukrainian talking points in Ukraine either. Khalil is exactly that kind of a person. This is what his student organization CUAD stated in his mission statement, which he proudly and brazenly posted on his Instagram. We are Westerners. No, you're not. Fighting for the total eradication of Western civilization. We seek community and instruction from militants in the global South. This is an outright admission of guilt. And they were so brazen that they posted it anyway because they thought America was screwed and nothing would happen to them. So, will Khalil be deported or will he get away thanks to the humane loopholes in the American legal system? Maybe not, because the DOJ can go after him in 2 ways. Number 1, promoting a foreign terrorist organization. They claim he was handing out pro-Hamas leaflets like this one. Look closely. It was printed directly by the Hamas media office. That is a direct collusion with a designated foreign terrorist organization. Number 2, using the Cold War era Immigration and Naturalization Act of 1952. This states that the Secretary of State, in this case Rubio, can declare someone deportable if there are reasonable grounds to believe the person's presence or activities in the US would have potentially serious adverse foreign policy consequences. This can happen without a criminal charge. Just convincing a judge is enough. Can the DOJ convince the judge? I don't want to cross any limits here, but I think the answer depends on whether the judge is woke or just awake. I'll leave it at that. But don't think Khalil is alone. His supporters have already raised $280,000 and gathered 3 million signatures on a petition demanding his release. We can all guess who those 3 million people are. They're either Islamists or the far-left woke is suffering from pathological altruism and suicidal empathy. I seriously hope that he becomes the first landmark deportee in this entire saga. I hope it opens the floodgates so that all these rioters and traitors have their visas, green cards, and even citizenships cancelled and are deported. The West needs to make a stand and send a strong signal that those who have infiltrated Western countries to dismantle them from within, like termites, have no future in the West. They will be found out, detained, and deported. If you celebrate a terrorist attack like the one on the 7th of October, you are a terror sympathizer, and you have no right to be in America or hopefully in any other Western country. So what do you think? Do you think Trump would be successful in deporting all these terror simps? Or do you think the wokies will have the upper hand? I hope you liked today's video. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. You can support the channel by becoming a member or patron by going to patreon.com/Harris Sultan. Your help means a lot. Until next time, ta-ra.